See, Steve, I kind of anticipate that we're going to be sitting here Sunday night talking about the officiating again. There's
Mm.
going to be some sort. It's inevitable. There's too many subjective calls in the National Football League. I know the refs are going to do their best to try to stay out of it, but at some point the refs are going to rear their head, and officiating is going to be a big part of the discussion as it relates to the Super Bowl. Agree or disagree?
Completely agree. At this point, it's become an absolute storyline. And it got me thinking because I was listening to various sports talk radios. I was driving around yesterday. What's worse, the media and the pundits that actually always bring up the officiating, or the ones that swear it's not a problem and it's overblown? I don't know how at this point you can't say that there is a bit of an issue. And look, it's a big game. It's a big game. The Chiefs have a history of getting favorable calls. The players are now, or at least some of them, are openly talking about it. People are joking about it at Super Bowl media days. There is no doubt that the way the game is officiated is absolutely going to be a storyline. And look, it was a bit of a storyline with the Patriots, with Tom Brady, to be fair. This is not the first and only time this has happened, but yes, it'll absolutely be talked about on Sunday and beyond.
That segues into a follow-up question. Because there's so much conversation about the officiating, Buffalo Bills fans are still upset about the spot on fourth down.
Mm.
There's a lot of people saying, hey, I'm swearing off the NFL. This officiating thing is too rigged. There's a lot of people, I think even like yourself, I think you mentioned this either last week or at some point this week, who find this game kind of uninteresting. You've seen Philadelphia and the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl before recently, I think just 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Do you think between the officiating and the repeat story of the Eagles versus the Chiefs, you think there'll be a ratings dip? Do you think TV ratings will be impacted?
It might be a dip, but it would be like the Titanic losing a lifeboat. I mean, I think this boycott will go about as well as the one led by Al Sharpton on Target. I mean, it's easy to bark about it, right? But I mean, all right, for all the people out there, our fine audience, our fearless audience of millions, for all of you in the chat who say you're boycotting, we're not watching this. Come Sunday around 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern, you got nothing to do. You've mowed the lawn. You've done the laundry. You've gotten your car washed. And of course, you went to Sunday services. Amen. You're going to watch National Geographic Network. You're going to watch something you're not watching the Super Bowl. Really? Really? Okay. So the audience might dip, Jason, from 122 million and a half to merely 120.7. Okay. So is that a dip? Really? Come on.
I don't know what the exact numbers were last year, but I think the halftime show is such a mistake with Kendrick Lamar. And ratings normally peak at halftime. And, that's the moment where your Super Bowl party, everybody stops kind of what they're doing and everybody watches the Super Bowl halftime. People eat and drink and conversate a lot during the game. But the halftime show is the wrong choice. That's going to hurt ratings. I think that the officiating controversy and people just kind of being over the NFL and thinking it's not legitimate. So I'm going to disagree with you and say that we may be off from a year ago 3 to 5 million, maybe even as much as 6 million viewers.
Pretty substantial.
So I think it's going to be a bit of a story that, hey, and look, there's also a chance that the game could be a clunker. Now, I don't anticipate that, but there is a chance that, the game could be a clunker, and that's one way to get the refs out of the game. If the game's a clunker and it's over, then there's really nothing to talk about, but one team dominated another.
Keep this in mind. Every Super Bowl the Chiefs have won, has been a good close game with a little dramatics at the end. First one against the Niners, they were down 10 pretty late into the fourth quarter. All the other games were very close and pretty dramatic. The one game that was a blowout was the one they lost in the COVID season at Tampa. Jason, getting back to the halftime show, if there's ever a time to go back to men on films, remember in the early 90s, the halftime shows were so bad. I've talked about this. Yeah. And In Living Color said, you know what? We're going to do our own halftime show. Everyone go to Fox. And they did Men on Film Super Bowl edition. And remember, they made this real funny joke about the Packers and Oilers. A great moment. And it was at that point the NFL said, okay, book Michael Jackson in 92 for the Buffalo-Dallas game. But yes, Men on Film, they need to come back for the halftime show.
Bitcoin isn't going anywhere, so why not start stacking some today? The Fold app gives you Bitcoin rewards when you buy gift cards. At Amazon, Uber, DoorDash, and Home Depot, over 50 national merchants. Go to foldapp.com/Whitlock right now or scan the QR code on your screen. New users get a Bitcoin bonus with their first gift card purchase. Start earning Bitcoin rewards today. Fold app. If they're more than likely they're going to televise the Black National Anthem. That's going to irritate people before the game. Yeah. Then they're going to do this halftime show. It's going to be a dud. That's going to irritate people. I'm telling you, I think the numbers are going to be off here. This may be the last year of Jay-Z running the NFL halftime show. I'm hoping that all these things, between the officiating, the Black National Anthem, the halftime show, I hope that that's kind of the conversation and there's a ratings dip and the NFL actually gets some blowback and starts having, not just eliminating Jason, racism from the end zone. They have to make some adjustments.
The American public at large is generally very, very undisciplined, and we love our bread and circuses. Keep that in mind.
Well, you got a lot of other bread and circus opportunities. You got Amazon Prime, you got Netflix, you got a bunch of stuff you could be doing. We'll see. We'll see. Steve, I want to move on to Ochocinco and James Harrison. Ochocinco and James Harrison had a little dust-up, I believe, on the Club Shay Shay, Nightcap show.
Give it time. Whatever you need to do, Shay, give him the time. He gonna need to gain some weight. You might want to give him a whole weight.
I don't need to gain no weight. I think 6 months will be good enough. Can you be ready in 6 months?
I could be ready tomorrow, man.
No, we need time. We got to sell this.
Well, shit.
Now you quiet. Now you quiet. He quiet. Soft
Ain't
ass.
Nobody quiet.
Soft ass.
Okay.
What, July?
Soft ass. You soft, boy.
Okay.
I see through all that shit. I see through all that muscle. Shit ain't about nothing, boy.
Okay.
You got the right one.
I'm going to.
You got the right one, baby.
What they said? I'm trying to see what they said in the chat.